Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday, November 20th. As Corpus Christi continues its search for alternative water supplies, the Portland City Council is exploring ways to secure its own and gain independence from the City of Corpus Christi and Corpus Christi Water. During a workshop last month, city leaders heard warnings and a range of options from desalination to new groundwater projects to achieve what Mayor Kathy Scurro described as water independence. She stressed that long-term water reliability is now top priority for the council.
Time is no longer on our side. It is now necessary for Portland to begin the process toward water independence.
That was Scurro speaking at last month's City of Portland workshop. That urgency was fueled by data presented by the San Patricio Municipal Water District, which purchases water from Corpus Christi for Portland. Data showed that as of October 21st, the date of that workshop, combined reservoir levels in the Nueces Basin were at 11.6%, with Choke Canyon Reservoir at 10.9%. Today, those levels are even lower at 10.7 and 10.3%, respectively.
Every city has to provide water for its citizens. Portland is committed to making sure that our citizens have water into the future.
That was Portland City Manager Randy Wright speaking with KRAS 6 News. Potential options on the table include reserving 2.5 million gallons per day from the Nueces River Authority's proposed Harbor Island desalination plant and pursuing brackish groundwater desalination through public-private partnerships. And Harlingen Valley International Airport's board of directors has narrowed its search for a new director to a single candidate. Next week, board members are expected to name the new director after conducting a second interview with the single candidate. That's according to board chairman George McShann. Meanwhile, McShann told the Valley Morning Star yesterday that officials are planning to appoint Michael Browning, the airport's past director, to serve as interim director. Browning previously served as the airport's director from 2000 to 2014. Before that, he was the assistant director from 1989 to 2000. He is expected to serve in the position until the new director takes office during the first week of the new year. McShann said they appointed Browning as interim because they need to have someone to be there internally if they have to communicate with the Federal Aviation Administration. If the board makes its appointment for the lone candidate, city commissioners in an upcoming meeting will vote on whether to ratify or reject the appointment based on a 2024 city charter amendment giving the commission that authority. Within the past week, the board interviewed 4 out of the 25 applicants for the job. The board advertised with American Association of Airport Executives for about a month between September and October. It's the nation's largest organization of airport employees with more than 875 airports and authorities. The job salary ranges from $183,000 to $274,000. Previous aviation director Marv Esterly had announced his retirement after 11 years in the role. Nueces County leaders have confirmed that construction on the new Bob Hall Pier will not meet its original completion date. The contractor notified the county that key materials for the project are still not ready, and that will push the timeline back several weeks from its original date of January 7th. County Commissioner Brent Chesney told KIII News that the contractor will miss the 460-day deadline written into the agreement, but progress continues.
They've indicated to us because some of the beams for the end of the pier, which are massive, huge concrete precast beams, are not ready yet from the manufacturer, so we're going to be a little bit behind, but it's moving along, it's getting done.
Chesney said that liquidated damages or financial penalties for missing deadlines are included in the contract. Nonetheless, the county's priority is seeing construction completed possibly in February. He also said a separate project to construct a new restaurant using the existing building next to the pier is expected to begin soon. In state news, San Antonio has been selected to serve as the host city for the first ever 2026 Texas Space Summit. Texas Public Radio's Maria Navarro has the details.
The summit-themed Land Here, Go Beyond will highlight efforts to expand the state's role in the commercial space economy. Buyers, funders, and policymakers from the U.S. Department of Defense, NASA, and leading Texas-based contractors are expected to attend. The space economy could reach nearly $2 trillion by 2035, with officials estimating each dollar could return 3 to 7 times its value to Texas through job creation and investments. The state is already home to the NASA Johnson Space Center and private space organizations like Blue Origin, SpaceX, and Firefly. The 3-day summit is set for next September. I'm Mariana Navarro in San Antonio.
And in sports this weekend, Texas A&M Corpus Christi sophomore Elizabeth Khatevi will run in the NCAA Division I Women's Cross Country Championships on Saturday. Khatevi became just the 7th runner in A&M Corpus Christi history to compete at the biggest meet of the year and the 3rd on the women's side. She punched her ticket to Columbia, Missouri last week after claiming victory at the NCAA South Central Regional Championships. She is also the Southland Conference's first repeat individual champion in the SLC in 13 years. She won last year's conference women's 6K, but had to miss regionals due to injury. I had the privilege of speaking with Elizabeth, who is also the Southland Conference Runner of the Year and has won 6 races in the 2025 season. Joining me on South Texas Midday is Texas A&M Corpus Christi cross-country sophomore Elizabeth Khatevi. Elizabeth, exciting week for you. You will be in Columbia, Missouri on Saturday competing in the NCAA Championships.
I'm really excited, but at the same time nervous because I'm not sure what I'm going to do at that race. I think all I can say is that I can give my best I can.
How do you feel going into this Saturday's race?
I think according to me, this one I'm so nervous because it's a big race and I'm going to meet people who are more faster than me, those people who have never raced before. So it's like, I'm super nervous with this.
Last year, you missed out on regionals due to injury. Going into last week's race, were there any doubts or perhaps more motivation for you?
For last year, I was really prepared for this. And I was even talking to my coach, I was like, I think I'm going to take you for nationals, of which last year I didn't make because of fracture. But this year when I come back for the season, I was like, it's now my turn. I'm going to take you this time round. And I just make sure that I don't have anything hurting on my body or not stressing any much, eating good. I was really prepared for this. And that was one of my targets since I started the season.
Do you have any goals going into national championships?
The only goal that I have going for national championships on Saturday, my aim is just to aim clock maybe among the top 20. That is my main aim and the goal that I have for this season.
What type of physical and mental preparation do you go through when preparing for a race?
I think sometimes it's very stressful for me. The only good thing is that I have a good coach, and most of the time I'll be like, hey coach, maybe sometimes I'll be like, maybe I'm competing maybe on Saturday, and I'm like, I'm so stressed about it. Because every time I go out, I just know I'm not going to meet the same people that I met last time. I'm going to meet different people. And sometimes it's very stressful. And I depend on my coach for that. Because most of the time I'll be like, hey, I'm so stressful about this. Hey, how should I tackle this one? And he's always there to help me.
What goes through your mind when you're running a race? I know for some people when they're running, they play a song in their head. Maybe they have a motivation.
I think what keeps me going is I'm used to chasing people. Sometimes I may be scared if someone is chasing me from behind and I'm leading. But if I can just stay behind people, I can do better with that. Because most of the time I don't use my pace. I end up using someone's pace, not mine.
Looking forward to next season, what goals do you have as you wrap up this season at Nationals?
For now, I don't have any goal as I wrap up this session. But I think as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to start preparing for Indo. That is what I'm trying to think of. I think I'm a kind of person that sometimes I multitask. I can be thinking about this and at the same time thinking about the future.
Well said. You're part of the Islanders cross-country team. How does your team motivate you as a runner and as a person?
I think my team motivates me because sometimes I'm a very nervous person. And for me, maybe going to the start line and starting a race is very hard for me. So sometimes I just depend on my teammates. They're just very encouraging. They're like, you can do this. We know you. You can do this. No one's going to beat you. And I'm like, as they said, because sometimes I'm very nervous. I don't know. I don't know how I can explain that.
No, it's perfectly fine. I think your team is right. Elizabeth, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to add?
All I can say is that thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
That was Elizabeth Khatevi with Texas A&M Corpus Christi. She will compete in the NCAA Division I Women's Cross Country Championship 6K on Saturday. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.